Hey, what's going on? It's Coach Charlie with Attack Basketball Academy. Most players have been trapped by two or more players during the basketball game. And if you're like most players, you've gotten your ball stolen. Been there, done that, must confess. Wrong hand, put the right hand up. I don't want this to happen to you anymore. So today I'm going to show you exactly how to pass out of a trap in basketball. Let's go. In this video, I'm going to share with you two body parts that can get you out of any trap anytime. Then I'm going to show you how to pass out of a trap with confidence and accuracy. Last, I'm going to share with you the footwork that you need to pivot your way out of trouble. This way, teams will think twice about trapping you from here on out. Let's get right into the two body parts that can get you out of any trap anytime. Your head for mentality, your feet for footwork. It's that simple. See, you got to use your head. You got to think, right? And the way I like to talk about thinking is I want to put a phrase on your mind, right? And we were all taught this way when trying to cross the street, either on our bike or walking. And it was look both ways. See, with that being said, that's why you have to use your mind, because you want to keep your head on the swivel, look both ways, and at the same time, to see where that trap is coming from. And then with your feet, you want to put yourself in a proper position, right? You got to find your feet, because at this place in space on the court, it's a foot fight. And you want your feet coming out on top. That simple. So your head for mentality and your feet for footwork will help you find your feet so you don't get beat at any time you're getting trapped. Before I show you how to pass out of a trap with confidence and accuracy, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel. I'm putting out videos daily to help develop you into a premium basketball player. Don't miss out on the content. Click the subscribe button. Now I'm going to show you how to pass out of a trap with confidence and accuracy. You ready? Pass the ball where the help defender came from. That simple. When your head is in the middle and it's on a swivel, you're going to see, and sometimes you're going to feel where that defender came from. So here's a simple rhyme that can help you every time. When you see defender's face, you got space. Make the pass. So, my left hand, defender's coming out of nowhere. I take 1 second, I identify that, I pass the ball in that direction. I have the basketball. Defender's coming out of my right side. I see them coming at me. I see defender's face. I got space. I make pass. That's simple. It's that simple. I don't even have to show you on the court. Because again, I said it before, it starts with your mentality. And now you are not only seeing the trap, you're seeking the trap. Because see, seeking is a part of recognition. And to give you a paraphrase, the word recognition means to identify a pattern. When you see that pattern, you see that defender's face coming out of nowhere, smile, you got space. Make the pass in that direction. Keep it that simple. Now that you know how to pass out of a trap using your head and feet, I want you to come below with bust out to show how confident you are that you will bust out of any trap, anytime, anywhere on the court. Go ahead and type bust out in the comment section. Now I'm going to show you the 6 ways to pivot out of a trap to make teams think twice before trapping you. You will always know how to pivot yourself out of trouble. Okay, let's talk about the footwork to pivot out of trouble. First, let's look at the pivots and counters in basketball. Okay? The first pivot that you want to understand is an outside pivot, also known as a forward pivot or front pivot. If I'm dribbling into trouble, coming towards you, and all of a sudden I'm trapped, I want to take my left foot, which is my pivot foot, and that simply means that's the foot that has to stay on the ground. I can lift my heels, and I can swivel like a tool. I can swivel like a tool, but I can't pick it up because my right leg, my right foot to be exact, that's my My right foot's my action foot. This is the foot I can actually pick up. We call that the drive step foot. I want to take my drive step foot and do what I call an outside pivot. Some people know it as a forward pivot. Some people also call it front pivot. So imagine me dribbling into trouble. Dribbling into trouble, I see the trap. I come to a complete jump stop. I pivot out of it. Bingo, I make an accurate pass. Okay, that's simple. That's an outside pivot, also known as a forward pivot or front pivot, right? Now let's talk about an inside pivot, right? Inside pivot, also known as a back pivot or reverse pivot, okay? So I'm dribbling into trouble. It's just the opposite. My left foot still is my pivot foot. I can lift my heel up. That's how I optimally turn, swivel again. I can't move it, but I move my drive step foot, my right foot. And I did an inside pivot. The move is similar, right? Because I get that same result. I'm facing you, but it was a different way I went at it, right? First, I had to go outside to pass that ball in position. Then I went inside. Move looks similar, right? So the two ways I wanted to discuss first how to pivot out of trouble is an outside pivot, then an inside pivot. Okay? Now, let's talk about the third pivot in basketball. We call it drop step. I can actually use a drop step. I'm dribbling into trouble. All of a sudden, when I come to this stop, I can learn how to turn my body. Right? But now in this case, understand this, I'm not able to lift up my pivot foot. Because if I do, I'll be called for travel. But because I had to open up, I can now pass the basketball and hence look at my footwork. Right? I'm now more facing the sideline. Right? The trap may be coming here towards my inside shoulder. My footwork is as such, again, I'm in a drop step stance. Right? So when I can't outside pivot, that's what I call it, just my term. When I can't inside pivot, okay, I will then go to a simple drop step. But I must keep my pivot foot on the ground because the minute I lift it, as if I change pivots, they will call a travel. Those are three simple ways I can pivot out of any trap, anytime. Let's look at the fourth way I can pivot out of trouble. Let's say I come to a complete stop and I had to go with an outside pivot and a defender actually came this way. I can actually do the counter to the outside pivot, which we call a cross step. See, now I can get my right foot to potentially step across the defender's right foot. Now I can make a pass. Notice I'm not facing you anymore, but I'm still facing in that direction. Right? It took an additional move. That's what a counter is. A counter is the next move. So when my pivot is taken away, I will simply counter that pivot to stay out of trouble. That's why it pays to find your feet so you won't get beat. Right? I'm using my head and I'm using my feet. Outside pivot, counter to the outside pivot is a step through, also known as a cross step. I can do it both ways. Right? I can have my left foot be my drive step foot, right, and go the opposite direction. Little tougher to do the inside pivots counter because it requires a dribble, right? But I want to show you if I were to do it, right, that's actually called a sweep, right, or rip. I can't move anymore, but I still can rip the basketball if I need to have tough hands, to pass ball the opposite direction, right? I can come to a complete stop, bing, boom, I can sweep the basketball, look to pass the basketball, right? And then with the drop step footwork, the actual counter is an inside pivot, right? There's literally 6 moves I can make to pivot out of trouble. That way, any team tries to trap me, they have to think twice about doing it because I'm not stuck. You take away 1, I go to 2. You take away 3, right, I can go to 4. You take away 5, I can go to 6. I got my fix. I'm never trapped again. Now that you know how to pass out of a trap in basketball, how would you like to have a guide that covers all the must-know basketball principles and in what situations to apply them? Well, you are in luck. If you click the link in the description of this video below, you can download the guide I put together as my gift to you. Enjoy it and keep attacking.